3 long golf balls.
I gotta have a tree left for some people who help me on the demo. Anyway, for those of you that don't know who I am, it doesn't really matter. My name is Cary, and I'm 2-time Guinness record holder for the longest drive. First one was in the National Long Drive competition before they had the Worlds. It was in Honolulu, Hawaii at the Navy Marine Golf Course, and I didn't know I broke a record. I hit it 411 yards, 32 1/4 inches, and the prior record was held by a guy by the name of Jack Ham. So then the Navy lasered it, and it's at sea level, of course, right next to the Pearl Harbor exhibit. And then they re-registered it, and Guinness accepted it. And then about 3 to 4 years later, this Jack Ham guy hit it at altitude, hit it 437 yards. And then in the PGA Long Drive Championship in Charles, Illinois, in 1995, I hit it 463 yards into that. So as far as I'm concerned, officially that's a record as far as Guinness is concerned. But there's guys that have hit it, what, 500?
552 right now is the current record. But that's
with wind days.
Yeah, you can throw a ball in the air and it go 200 yards.
Yeah. I've hit a few of those myself, but
feet or yards?
wind doesn't help. So what I want to do for you guys today is to give you a couple tips that will help you without swinging hard. The key is that if you swing too hard, you're going to end up doing things you don't want to do. So what I was taught by Gary Player, I was fortunate enough to be on Northwestern golf staff years ago. Anybody remember the Northwestern clubs? Was everybody's first set? Okay. Well, I was on staff with Tom Watson, Gary Player, Nancy Lopez. In fact, I was almost like a son to Gary Player. He taught me this real incredible tempo timing thing that I always do on every shot. And he said, you got to do something like this on almost every shot to make it consistent as 1/1000, 2/1000. And that way, if you deviate from that, then you're going to be hitting the ball somewhere where you don't want to hit it. You got to find a speed that's going to work for you and always do that. Well, I've done a lot of demonstrations with Johnny Miller, and one day we were at Riviera, and I do this half hour first, and then he does the half hour. And he gets up and he says, wow, Cary did an incredible long drive demonstration. Everything was perfect except for this stupid 1/1000, 2/1000. He says, it should be more like this. Remember, this was like 10 years ago. He said, instead of that, it should be Cindy Crawford. Or for you ladies, I don't know, maybe George Clooney? Or for those of you who don't know, maybe Richard Simmons. I don't know.
That was mine. Thank you. Thanks, Cary. Now do you mean in front of everybody here?
Now you got him excited.
You got him excited? I'm sorry. You got to put some water on him, okay? So anyway, so the whole idea about tempo and getting to the right tempo, when you start getting out of your comfort zone, when you start swinging too hard, is when trouble starts. Unless you're like Jeff and I, Jeff, the SledgeHammer, he's our guest here today. He's going to hit a few shots after I do. But when you're involved in the long drive, you get 6 shots and you have a million rounds to go through to get to the top. And finally, if you're standing at the top and you win, which is almost an impossibility because you're just swinging as hard. You can't lay back. You have to swing as hard as you can. And out of that 6 shots, you hope you get one down the middle. And that's the philosophy of the current world champion. He's only 22 years old. He's only about your size. You think all the guys...
Is he built like me?
He's built like me, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, getting back to, I'm going to eat 5 iron per minute here. No, actually, how big is Jamie?
He's 5'11", 160.
Okay.
Soaking wet.
I'm 5'7", 190.
Okay.
Wow.
You're bigger, much bigger.
A little more buff.
It's amazing. You watch this kid swing. It's amazing.
This guy hits the ball like Daly.
Does he?
Not John Daly, Bill Daly. Not the Colonel, but the other
The
guy.
guy. The guy's dead, right?
The guy's dead.
Yeah. But moving on to the 5 iron. Same thing. You don't want to take any faster than you just did a minute ago. There's a reason for that. You got to swing every climb with the same intensity. And the reason being is once you get that's why they make a 3 iron, and that's why they make a 5 iron and a 9 iron. Obviously, there's 2 distinct differences in these clubs. one of course one is longer and one is more off. Now if I need to hit it 220 yards or 230 yards, I'll use a 3 iron without swinging any harder than I did. Why try and kill that club when I don't need to and I have my other club in the bag? That's where a lot of us get in trouble. How many people here actually, when they get a drive in their hand, think they have to swing harder? Honestly, show me hands. Okay, about half of it.
You do anyway, if you don't think it, you do it.
But that's not the case. The case is that when you're playing a tournament, unless, of course, you're the last guy in your scramble group, and one of your buddies, one of the two guys in front of you just cream the ball, and if you what do I get to lose but just swing as hard as I can, right? So again, without swinging hard, just really good, making good contact, that little Cindy drop. And that's the same thing you do with every shot. You'll hit the ball where you're aiming. Now, what I want to teach you with it is that we know that golf is really mental a lot, right? There's 5 parts of your game I like to think. There's your drives, there's your approach shots, there's your chipping, your putting, and there's the mental side. And would anybody here disagree with me that the mental side is the most important thing? What's more important?
I would not disagree.
Okay, good. He was taking a
Smaller brain than
Does he have a smaller brain?
About this big, but I use 95% of it.
It must be spread. Anyway, so the whole idea is I'm gonna. But a lot of people would say that probably would you say that about the second most important thing would be putting?
Yeah.
Okay, well putting is worth won and lost. But when you think about it, if you hit a longer, straighter drive off the tee, you have a shorter approach shot, right? Shorter approach shot should create a shorter putt, and shorter putt should create lower scores. So it all starts with your drive. But hitting the drive down the middle and not being out of the fairway, unless you're, we can't talk about Tiger Woods anymore, can we? Unless you're Tiger Woods, when he starts playing last year, if you notice, a lot of times he never hit the fairway. But he had the ability to somehow be in 3 inches of rough and be able to still hit the green, which is amazing because you have to swing so much harder when you're in the rough. It's not even funny. So moving on to how many people here are right-handed golfers? Okay. How many are left-handed golfers? You got two left-handed golfers. How many of those people who are right-handed golfers are left-handed? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many of those you two gentlemen are your lefties? Okay. Well, obviously, Patrick goes both ways. Okay.
He was young. He needed the money.
So why did he not get the job for Brokeback Mountain?
I wanted the role.
Well, I quit because I was a bad actor, and not too many people can say that. I had to. I was on Happy Days for 7 years, for those of you that don't know. Anyway, we'll take Oh yeah. But you know what? I'm not a bad putter. I want to show you how I putt. I like to tee up my putts because it works better for me for some reason. And I like to tee my pie. I just got this today. Well, you can applaud if you want to.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
It didn't clear